Hello everybody and welcome to Week 10 Power Rankings, and today is a special week because we're starting out at number 30, but we're not in Oakland. We are in Kansas City. So Kansas City had a bad last couple weeks for real, and Oakland hasn't. And the record's still a little bit better. The record is 18-47, so a little bit better than Oakland overall. But recently, Kansas City has not been playing good at all. I think they're 1-9 in their past 10, so they moved down. So congratulations to Oakland. I actually, starting last week, thought they had no chance of getting out of 30, but I was wrong. So now at number 30, a season low, are the Orioles. So moving up one spot are the A's. So again, I didn't expect this. Did anyone expect this? I don't know. So they swept Milwaukee. They won, I think, they won the first series against Pittsburgh, I think. So a good week for Oakland, a surprising week. I'm glad I'm not with Milwaukee right now. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. The record's still 17-50. So I think one game below Kansas City, but they did it. They got out of 30th place. So that's like the win of the year if you're an Oakland A's fan. You made it out of my bottom of the barrel 30. You got the 29. That's basically a World Series for you. So enjoy it. But yeah, welcome to 29. Shoot for 28. Why not? See how this next week goes. But yeah, finally you're out. All right, same spot as last week on the Nationals. So they just haven't been playing any better or worse, for that matter, than they were last week, the last couple weeks for that. So they're staying at 28. Nothing much else to say other than just playing, I guess, what everyone expected to play, because they've been playing a little bit. Like a month ago, I would say they were playing a little bit above what people expected. Now they're kind of back down to playing as expected. So they're at 28. This isn't a punishment. This is just they're playing exactly how you'd expect. So right now, Washington stays at 28. All right, number 27 are the Rockies. Same spot as last week. Similar to the Nationals, where you just haven't been playing good enough to move up. So they're staying at 27. I could have actually moved them down to 28 because they had that bad of a week, but the Nationals didn't have a great week either. Last couple weeks, I should say, for both those teams. So they stay at 27, and yeah, they're going to start winning some games if they want to move up on the board. All right, dropping 3 spots are the Tigers. So the Tigers, I could have dropped them more. They've been playing really bad. I think they've lost 9 in a row. It could be 7. I don't remember what number I saw. I think it was a 7 or 9, but I'm going to say they've lost 9 in a row because I'm not sure. Not good for the chart. I think they were 20 on the board 2 weeks ago. Now they're down at 26, so kind of a fall from grace for the Tigers. They were looking like they could even battle for the Central, and as soon as people started talking about them, they lost 9 in a row. So Tigers moving down to 26. Hopefully they can, find their balance and stop the damage, but they could be free falling at this moment right now. So right now they're at 26. The record's 26-37. I think 2 weeks ago they were 1 game or 2 games below 500, so not great for the Tigers. So right now they're at 26. All right, same spot as last week are the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, I think playoffs are probably out of the question now. They're not going to get there, I don't think. They've been playing mediocre. I think June is probably the last month now where if they can really pull it together, they have a chance. But they're 12 games below 500, 27-39 record. Yeah, so not a great run for the Cardinals as of late. And right now they're at 25. But yeah, I think they might be these bottom 2 rows for the rest of the year. All right, same spot as last week are the White Sox. So they're kind of the American League version of the Cardinals. I mean, not really, because the Cardinals have way more consistency of making the playoffs. But in terms of a really bad start, people were talking maybe you could bounce back and make a playoffs because you're in a weak division. Cardinals kind of dropped that ball, it looks like, and now the White Sox are dropping that ball as well. The record's 29-38, so a little bit better than the Cardinals, but I really do think the Twins are, even though they've been playing bad, and we'll talk about them later, I do think they're finding their balance, and the Guardians are as well, so you're going to have to jump 2 teams to make the playoffs because there's no wild card teams coming out of the Central. So, White Sox, they have a really, really huge uphill battle if they want to get into the playoffs, and I just don't see it happening. So right now they're at 24, but they were playing decent compared to how they started. So, but yeah, that's what they are. All right, dropping 3 spots are the Cubs. So the Cubs, another team that's just not playing great, and other teams around them are, or at least playing better. So they get moved down 3 spots. The record's 28-37. Again, just ever since I said they were good, I think it was a month ago now, they've been playing horrible. So really, Marcus Stroman's carrying that team. Now that Steele's injured, I just don't know if there's any chance they can find their footing and just get back on track, because it's kind of in the weird spot of the season where if you have a bad couple middle months, it's hard to find your balance at the end of the year. Usually teams start tanking at the very end. If you tank in the middle, it's hard to get that back and have a really good 2 last months. So Cubs are in a tough spot. We'll see what can happen, but like I said, 28-37. I don't know. I think for both Chicago teams, they're kind of out of the playoffs. All right, dropping 3 spots are the Mariners. So another team playing mediocre ball. They're 31 and 33. They're playing way below expectations, and yeah, so now they keep dropping down the board. They haven't earned a right to be in the top half. I've been trying to keep them around the top half, but now I just can't anymore. They've been playing bad, and a team with high expectations made some big signings in the offseason. They just haven't put it together yet. So, but I don't think this is a team where you need to panic about missing playoffs just yet, because there's a lot of season left, and you're only 2 games below 500. And this is a team, at least with a roster, where you know they can put it together. Whereas maybe the Cubs and White Sox, they have an okay roster to put it together. This team has a roster built for the playoffs, so they could put it together. But right now, they just haven't had it going. So right now, they're at 22. All right, moving at 5 spots are the Reds. The Reds are looking really good right now. It's really exciting that this team is looking so good, and I actually hope they make the playoffs as well. It would be really cool if a lot of teams made the playoffs that never make it, but that's obviously not going to happen. So, do I think they're going to squeak in? No, but if they can pull a above 500 record, that would be such an amazing achievement for the Reds. So, Cruz came up; they're looking great. Hopefully, Votto comes back at some point. But yeah, they're just playing really good baseball, and they're a really fun team to watch. They're probably, I would say, Diamondbacks are first in the National League, but not including the powerhouse teams. But like the Diamondbacks and the Reds are a really fun young team to watch, and the Reds are playing great right now. So I'm moving up 5 spots, and they're at 21. Right, dropping 5 spots are the Mets. The Mets are having problems, a lot of problems, and they keep dropping. The last 2 or 3 weeks have not been good for them, and they just have not figured it out. So they moved down even more. Now they're at 20, which is a season low for them. So the Mets need to get it together, and I honestly don't know what they can do. I don't know what the problem is exactly with them. They're just not playing well. The record's 31 and 35, so they're 4 games below 500, and I don't know. I think their rotation's been an issue, and I think I don't know if they're going to be able to climb out of this hole with all these strong teams performing in the National League right now. So, I don't know. Mets need to get it together, though, but they're not playing well, so I'm moving down to 20. All right, moving up 3 spots are the Guardians. The Guardians are a team that actually have kind of figured it out, and they're playing better. So, the record's 31 and 34, so they're only 3 games below 500, and they're playing better in a weak division. So, the Twins have the advantage because they are I think 3 games better, but the Twins need to get it together if they want to have a chance here. So it's kind of I think it's going to be a 2-team race between those 2 teams. And like I said, the Guardians are finally starting to get their bats waking up, which is good because their pitching has been great. So really a very similar style to the Twins, where it's good pitching, weak hitting. So we'll see how that turns out. It could be another season like last year where it just comes down to those 2 teams. We'll see which one takes off. Yeah, right now I move up the Guardians 3 spots because they're playing well. All right, dropping 1 spot are the Padres. So the Padres aren't really necessarily playing horrible, but they just got passed by a team, so they do move down a spot. Yeah, the record's still 31 and 34, so not great, same as the Guardians. And if you compare payrolls, yeah, so I do move the Padres down. I think a lot of people I'm not saying they're overrated, but people seem to overrank them because they're like, oh, they can't be this bad. They have all these players, but they're playing bad, so you got to punish them. So they're around at 18 to drop a spot. And yeah, so they've been playing mediocre. They need to have a great month. Hopefully this month or next month can be that month. But yeah, right now they're at 18. All right, moving at 4 spots are the Phillies. So the Phillies had a great couple past weeks. They're only 1 game below 500 now, and they're looking good again. So I'm not going to say anything positive, any more positive things about them, because every time they end up having a terrible next week. So I'm just going to say the Phillies are looking better, and hopefully they can keep things rolling. I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to jinx them, so right now I have them at 17. All right, moving up 2 spots are the Giants. So the Giants, not necessarily a great week or anything, but they do move up to 16, so they are playing better. The record's 33 and 32, so they're 1 game above 500. And yeah, I think if they can stay around 500, and then like many teams that stay around 500, and at the trade deadline add some pieces, you could be looking at a wild card spot. So the Giants, I think you just got to keep playing the way you're playing, and you should be all right to make a push. But right now, move them up 2 spots to get up to spot number 16. So this is where I have them. I think we could see them start making a push, like I said, for that wild card. All right, dropping 2 spots are the Brewers. The Brewers aren't playing great right now. They just got swept by Oakland, which is tough. And yeah, so I do drop the Brewers 2 spots. I think they're still probably going to win the Central, or I don't know, maybe the Pirates have something to say. But the Brewers are not playing well the last couple weeks. I didn't want to move down too much, and the record's still about 500 at 34 and 32. So they're not playing, like I said, great baseball. They had a really good strong start to the season, and since then it's been pretty mediocre. Pretty similar to the Twins, where you have a hot start and then kind of fizzle out. So the Brewers need to start finding their stride, but right now they're not playing great ball, so they moved down 2 spots. They're still in the top half, but they're right on that line at 15. Dropping 2 spots are the Twins. The Twins, another team not playing well right now. If they would have swept, which they should have, the Blue Jays, they would have been either in 13 or 12, but they put in Pagan, so I don't know what Rocco Baldelli was thinking. He blew the game, typical. He's a very reliable reliever in low leverage situations. For some reason, the second it's high leverage, he can't throw any pitches with movement. He just throws BP fastballs, and they just get clobbered everywhere. And if you put him in, no one on base, you're up by 5 runs, he'll throw an immaculate inning pretty much. He'll throw strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. If it's a 1-run game, it's home run, home run, home run. So Pagan, you can't put him in when the game's on the line. So put him in, low leverage, eat innings, he's fine. Put him in when the game matters. Grand slam to Outman. 3rd home run to Biggio, he sucks. So Pagan blew that game. They got swept by Tampa, which again, if you lose a series to Tampa, I don't move your team down. If you get swept, I do, because you got to win 1 game. They could have won 2, but they ended up winning 0. So they do win the series against the Blue Jays, which was nice, but I do move them down because they're just not playing consistent. Their offense the last couple of games have been getting better, but we'll see what happens when Buxton gets back and Gallo. But right now I'm moving down 2 spots because similar to the Brewers, they're just not playing consistently good baseball. So right now they're at 14. All right, dropping 3 spots are the Red Sox. The Red Sox, similar to the last 2 teams, haven't been playing consistently well. The record's 33-33, so a 500 team right now. After that hot, it was 3 weeks or a month ago, they had that really good jump. They had 7 or 8 wins. That hasn't happened in a while now, so they do move down to 13. Again, they haven't been playing great right now, so this is where they end up on the board. But yeah, the Red Sox, Twins, and Brewers need to get it going. All right, moving at 4 spots are the Marlins. So the Marlins kind of came out of nowhere, and they're playing really good right now. They're looking really good right now. So the Marlins, watch out for them. Like I said, they seem to be 500 around the All-Star break, or at least trade deadline, and they're doing that so far. So hopefully they can keep this going. They had that great comeback against the White Sox. They look like a legit team right now. So I'm hoping that they make the playoffs. I know it seems like the Diamondbacks should, and hopefully they're next. Maybe the Pirates squeak in. That would be such an amazing. I'll be watching all those games if that happens. But I don't want to jinx anything. I'm not going to wood right now. But yeah, the Marlins are playing great, so I move them up to 12. All right, same spot as last week are the Angels of Angels. Not playing bad. I would say they're playing a little bit above, mediocre. So they stay at 11. The record's 36-31, so still a good record. Yes, they're playing better. They're still playing good ball, and I don't think they're playing well enough to get into that top 10 just yet. But I think the Angels are in a good spot, and I think if they can stay 500 now into the trade deadline, they're kind of in a good spot. The last thing you want right now, though, is to fall apart right at the trade deadline. So, Angels stay consistent. Could be looking at a wild card spot at the end of the year, and hopefully the Angels can finally get into the playoffs after choking so many years. But right now they're at 11, and they're playing decent. All right, moving at 4 spots are the Pirates. So the Pirates, another surprising team up here. They are also playing good ball, and they also have been hitting the ball really well. So that was the most surprising thing to me is how well they've been hitting. And yeah, them and the Marlins have kind of come out of nowhere, but no complaints from me. I like that. So Pirates are playing good. I'm moving up to 10, and I hope again another team. I hope they can stay at 500 at the trade deadline. If these teams don't have their owners add to them at the trade deadline when they're above 500, I'll be pissed. So, Pirates, keep playing the way you're playing, we'll all be happy. Right now they're at 10, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can win the Central. All right, dropping 2 spots are the Astros. So the Astros not necessarily playing bad, just got passed, not playing as good as they probably should be. So I'm moving down 2 spots to 9. Again, some other teams around them are playing a little bit better, so I do drop them. Again, I'm not super worried about the Houston Astros. There's not a lot to say about the teams kind of on the top of the row because they're playing good, they're looking good. So these teams coming up, we all know they're going to make the playoffs. So Astros looking good, but I do drop them 2 spots to 9. All right, dropping 2 spots are the Dodgers. So similar to the Astros, not worried about them, just not playing, not having the particularly best last 2 weeks. I think they're 3-10 in their last 10 games. So not a great stretch of games for the Dodgers, but again, I'm not worried about them. These teams, what makes a team a good team is that they can bounce back. So I'm expecting both these teams to have pretty dominant weeks coming up because they want to have that bounce back week to feel a little bit more comfortable with themselves. So Dodgers moved down 2 spots at number 8, but again, I'm not worried about them. So I moved up 2 spots are the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays actually had a really good last couple weeks. The Twins almost spoiled that, but they ended up winning that last game. So I do moving them up 2 spots because, again, they've been playing pretty good the last couple weeks. So right now they're at 7. And again, like I said before, these teams, I'm not worried about them. This team looked really good. It seems like ever since they sent down Manoah, they've been playing better. So we'll see what happens with that, though. But anyways, Blue Jays are looking good. And we'll see what happens come the trade deadline, but I don't know where they would really add. Let me know if it's usually teams like this. It's usually just bullpen, but let me know if they think they're going to add a bat or something. But their team looked really good when I was watching them play this weekend, so we'll see. But right now they're at 7. Right, dropping 2 spots are the Yankees. The Yankees again, not playing particularly great the last couple of weeks. Not bad, but again, some teams above them are just playing better. So the Yankees, again, another team I'm not worried about. It's just kind of a headache though thinking about this American League with how good the East is and the wild card teams. You have Rangers, Astros, Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, and then someone from the Central. So, anyways, crazy American League race right now, pretty much because the Central's the Central. So, Yankees though not playing particularly great the last couple weeks. Still playing good. They're still in a good spot. Their record's 30-29, so they're in a good spot. But I do drop them down a couple spots to 6. Right, moving up 3 spots are the Diamondbacks. Did you know the record is 40-25? That's how good they're playing, and they look great right now. And I think they could end up having that West. That could be awesome. I'm gonna knock on wood against you guys. Can't blame me if something happens. Yeah, but the Diamondbacks though are playing really good baseball, and they moved up to 5 because I didn't realize how good the record was until last week, and now they had another great week, so I moved them up. They're at 5 right now. That's the highest they've been on the year. They're playing great baseball right now. I try to watch most of the games. Corbin Carroll, I picked him for NL Rookie of the Year. That looks like a great pick on my end. So, anyways, we'll see what happens with this team. But I think at this point they're really thinking, well, who are we going to add at the trade deadline? So yeah, Diamondbacks are playing great baseball. They're at 5. All right, dropping 1 spot are the Orioles. The Orioles, the team that's still playing well. They have a great record still. I believe they're, I want to say 41-24. Yeah, so they're still 15 games above 500. They're playing good baseball, and yeah, this is another team that I just realized I left them out in some other teams that could potentially make the playoffs. I left that team out. Literally every team from the East can make the playoffs, other than even the Red Sox could. It's like that's just crazy to think about. So, anyways, Orioles are playing good. Also, goodness, that just gives me a headache thinking about all these great teams, and none of them are from the Central. So, yeah. All right. Anyways. Pity me, I'm in the Central for my fan base, but yeah, Orioles though are playing well. They didn't have like necessarily a great week, so they moved down. They moved down a couple spots, or at least 1 spot. But mainly though, I would say they got passed because, as we will talk about soon, a team that has been playing really well has moved up. So the Orioles do drop 1 spot though, but they're still number 4 on the board, so they're in a really good spot. All right, same spot as last week are the Rangers. So the Rangers and Rays really battling for first. Unfortunately, the Rays came out on top, but the Rangers are still playing great baseball. They have a wonderful record. I think they could probably run away with the West if they have to keep playing another 2 solid months, and I think the West is kind of unlocked for them. So I wouldn't be worried though. If I'm a Rangers fan, I really think you really have the ball's really, and you really have control over what happens. What I'm trying to say. So the Rangers though are playing great, and I have my number 2. We'll see. They can maybe squeeze in the number 1, but the Rays right now are playing so well. So Rangers have an uphill battle to get to spot number 1, but I think they can do it. All right, same spot as last week are the Rays. The Rays, they're just so good. I mean, I don't even know how to put it other than they're a really fun team to watch. They're playing so well, and yeah, there's really nothing else to say other than the Rays are clearly the best team in baseball. Clearly the best team in baseball. So the Rays, I think they have the East on lock. They're going to win that division, I think, just because they're playing so well. Barring an absolute collapse, they should be fine. I watched them play the Twins. It was just unbelievable how just good they were. It wasn't even that the Twins played particularly bad that series. They just were so good. So, but anyways, yeah, the Rays stay at number 1. This is the Week 10 power rankings. Let me know what you think. I know some people think some of my takes are hot takes, which is fine, and that's what's great about power rankings. People have different opinions and such. I think this is probably where, for the most part, I think this is where most people would have other teams as well. So I don't know. Let me know what you think though. Week 10 power rankings. This is where it ends up, and I'll see you guys next week.